Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Hey, Knox, technical question.
Yeah.
Alexi's armor, did the arrow piercings compromise his armor class at all?
No,
Okay, thank you.
that's all. That's all narrative to explain. Well, you just took damage and it's got to chink through the arm.
Okay. Through the thought process of pulling the arrows out is way overkill.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think it's why most of the arrows depicted by goblins and enemies in the game are generally diamond tipped, not your actual hunter's arrows. So they generally depict easier to visually pull out.
Well. I think that's something that's pretty unnecessary, but
But it's definitely fun to consider from an RP standpoint. If we're still talking about removing arrows from armor. I blanked out for a sec.
Yeah, we are. Speaking of, just purely for the RP of it, if given a chance, Tip will mend Alexi's armor.
As I recall, mend is also a cantrip, so...
It is.
Okay.
So are we driving you nuts yet, Knox?
no, not really.
Cool.
Alright, Aya's here.
I was gonna say, driving them nuts is what they're doing in my campaign on Fridays.
Well, you keep making these super easy boss fights that we get out of with nothing.
You guys keep taking random ass actions that, when piled all together, end up letting you pretty much just skip all of these fights.
That's not true. I almost got eaten yesterday.
That's true. That was fun.
And then the bard confused it into just wandering off.
No, that was the bug later.
Yeah.
You
wasn't that
guys,
the-
you guys damaged the eel enough that it,
Oh,
it
that's right.
ran off, yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know.
talking about the moray eel that nearly ate him.
That's right. Well, there was that 7-armed septipus thing that did tear the hell out of my ranger.
Yeah, but that was the session before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the session before, and that was the only damage that occurred to the party, and then Nissa comes along and blasts the hell out of it, leaving it with 1 hit point. It runs off. Daisy issues it an ultimatum, and it says, okay, rescues the people that we were there after, and we leave.
Well, she said, we will let you leave alive. We just want our people.
We don't want to harm you, something like that.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Yeah, we just want
And
our
so
people.
it decided, okay, well, all I need to do is give them their people. They'll let me leave alive. I am for this idea.
And it took off, and that was the big part of the boss fight. And then the boss lady, the queen, made a dumb and created an entangling field of seaweed that nobody could cross, so we managed to get through it. Our people were already on the other side. She couldn't get past it. And we left with all the minions being hypnotized by Pied Piper Bard.
Fucking bards.
Hey,
I love
says the one that has insulted 2 things to death.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Give me Skittles.
They were already dead. They just didn't know it yet.
What, the
My
Skittles?
words did nothing.
Yeah, okay. Are we all back?
I'm not.
You're never.
I'm here. I'm
Right.
here.
Rise in the shower.
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm playing League.
Don't be that guy, Rye.
All right,
That
so are we ready to continue?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All
Arr.
right, the fight has been concluded. What do you all do?
I think we need to start checking out these doors.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a good solid listen at the other two doors in this room now.
All right, go ahead and give
Did I
me.
give you advantage on that?
No, you can't.
Not for a listen.
Well.
That's only looking for traps.
Well. Alright.
Go ahead.
Well.
Go ahead. Go ahead and give me a perception.
So there's the door nearest me. This one.
Yep. Sounds like a door.
And then
That also sounds like a door.
I'm gonna check for traps
Where?
at this door.
checking the door itself.
Yeah, to see if it's trapped.
Right. Investigation.
Roll with advantage.
The door is not trapped.
Alright.
The other one.
Alexi's gonna check the room he's in to see if there's any secret doors or anything like that.
I'd like to help Alexi. So does he just roll, or do we both roll, or?
Well, Alexi, roll with advantage.
On perception?
Since you're both looking the room over.
Go ahead and check the other door, Chris.
Well, one at a time, please.
Yeah.
All right, Redneck.
Yeah.
All right, Redneck. The door you're in, or the room you're in, rather. There's no. You don't find anything that looks like a hidden door or anything. The room itself is. I mean, it's foul in here because this is clearly where goblins have been bedding down. There's a used fire pit in the middle of the floor. There's battered cooking equipment and other worn arms and armor, and yeah.
Nothing of importance.
Nothing of importance.
What did
Well,
the
no.
dead
Well,
goblins-
well, if it's worth mentioning, you find some nasty jerky, some wine that's pretty much turned to vinegar, and other useless bits of clutter.
So nothing of importance.
What did the dead goblins have on them?
They're short bows and scimitars, and leather stuff. Leather and shields.
I need none of those things. I'm gonna check this door for traps.
All right. Good thing you had advantage. The door is not trapped, but it's the door is locked.
Ah. Got a locksmith in here?
Hold on. I gotta read up on something.
We'll get back to it.
You say that's all Tip ever does.
Read up on something.
Uh-huh.
Nope,
So-
I can't help that. Sorry.
I can. We'll get back to it.
Do you pick? And since you asked to picking over the other goblins from the previous room, one of them had a silver flask of dwarven make, that had that vinegary wine in it. Oh, and another one had a key.
Oh,
So that silver flask is probably worth about 50 gold pieces.
Nice.
I would like to take one of those vinegary wines.
you're not in there.
I know. I need to make my way back up there.
You don't know it exists.
Well, out of character, I want to take one of those vinegary wines. So
You
I can
don't know
dump
it
out
exists.
into the box.
Was the cup with the dwarven the dwarf silver cup, was that in this room or this room?
This room.
Oh, never.
It was
I
a
mean, you
flask,
asked
wasn't it?
if the goblins had anything, so I figured you're picking through all of their corpses.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'll definitely hand that flask over to Alexi. You know, dwarven thing for a dwarf.
Alright, so, which room are we going through?
Well, we need to get everybody in one place to discuss that first.
So I enter the room up here with Alexi and ask what they found up here.
I'm probably down here by that.
Oops.
Alexi would just tell him, what he found, but if it's, if he wants the rotten things, he's quite willing to let the elf take them.
I stumble up through the room and kind of look around.
I
Pick
mean,
up one of the bottles of wine and
well, they're old wine skins or old water skins, but yeah.
water skin. Kind of flip it up and kind of dump it out and throw it in my pouch. So it's just an empty water skin now.
All right.
Never know when I can find something to put in it.
All right, you have an empty water skin.
Awesome. All right.
Not to potentially flog a dead horse, but I'd like to go into this room that Alexi was in and search for any glyphs, runes. There's been text on walls in some of these rooms. I want to check to see if this is going to follow suit in other parts of the build.
There's no text or anything on the walls in there.
Okay.
Cool. Holy moly. That ramen was spicy.
Meeple kind of looks around anxiously. We keep going, yes? Find Caltrix!
Which way?
No. People don't know.
I'm gonna try and track. See if there's any indication of, I don't know, a big old dragon wormling being taken through any of these doors.
Give me a survival check.
No bonuses whatsoever. Okay.
Can I assist with that?
Actually,
Never mind, I don't have survival training, never mind.
neither do I. Can we use it untrained?
You can use it untrained.
Okay.
Remember, just because you don't have it doesn't mean you can't do it. But when it comes to giving somebody else advantage, you have to be trained.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what
it
I
has
was
to
saying,
be-
I don't have it.
Yeah, you have to have proficiency.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cross your fingers.
No
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
I mean, it's all a mess. You know, there's no real discernible tracks apart from your own. But I mean, it's stone floor and dirt and Well,
Yeah, I
dust,
was hoping
really.
for like claw marks or something.
No, nothing like. You don't find anything like that.
All right. If there's no traps on this door, I'm gonna go ahead and open it.
With what?
Oh, that's the locked one.
That's the
Yes.
locked one. Is there an icon we can put on it?
Didn't we find a key?
Oh, was that
We
set
did
in
find a
character?
key.
I'm gonna say, did we tell everyone we found a key?
Nobody fucking said anything, so I'm gonna assume
Yeah.
no. Nobody said anything.
Well, that's what I'm asking. If Alexi just said that in character.
I thought the key was found in the southern room, not the northern room.
It was found in here.
Oh, okay then. I have the key,
But-
but I'm not in that. Oh, I am in that room. That's a very short wall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the door is locked. Maybe try this. And I'll toss the key over to Ryan.
All right. I'll go ahead. I'll see if the key works. I'm gonna do this kind of gently though, because I don't want to break the key off into the lock.
That would suck.
Shouldn't we check the unlocked doors first?
But the locked one's so enticing.
That's first in the It's first in the order too, but
Yeah, we're gonna do this in order.
It unlocks.
All right.
Nice sound effect.
So I'm going to open the door.
Hold on. Chris,
Uh-oh,
gather the
okay.
rest of the party.
Let's go.
I will stand back here with Meepo.
And I'm gonna prep an Eldritch Blast just in case.
Already a firebolt.
Alexi,
Alexi, Tip, we are coming through this door.
Perhaps I should be in front.
I think that is wise.
All yours.
alright, we know the door itself isn't trapped. Same style, take a peek on the other side.
Yep,
Go
as
for
we
it.
usually do.
Oh,
You slide the door open, and it resembles a makeshift prison. Squalor reigns in this low-ceilinged room. A large spike is driven into the floor near the door, and a small iron cage is set further back. Several sets of corroded manacles are connected to the walls, and some still bind a few crumbling skeletons. And from where you're standing, you can see a group of kobolds that are all chained up to spikes on the floor and manacled to the wall.
Meepo, you might want to have a look at this.
Wait, what's the one on the far side here?
I stepped the wrong way. I was going to
There.
step into the door.
Looks like a gnome in a cage.
A gnome in a cage? Oh, okay, great. Any traps in the room?
You're gonna need to go in there and look around.
Alexi? What's that? Perception, yeah? No investigation.
Perception.
Redneck, yours is a 4 or a 5?
4.
Okay, go for it. Roll advantage.
5.
I did. I got a 22.
Yes!
You see no traps, and the kobolds look slightly emaciated, like they've been just sitting in here barely getting enough food. The gnome kind of looks up as you come walking in, and his face lights up and goes, "Oh, praise Lathander!"
Meepo.
Meepo
Yep,
comes
that's a
in.
no in a cage.
Oh. Erky Timbers, I suppose.
He looks up at you. And, that would be correct. I am Murky Timbers. Oh, praise the gods, somebody came. Meepo begins to chatter in Draconic with the kobolds. It's mostly for Cassandria's sake. It's mostly just like, what are you doing here? How did you get here? Yada yada. What are you doing? We're going to get Calcrix. Yada yada.
Does the key from the door work on the manacles?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm gonna try it on the cage first.
Long check.
Cassandria
Let me-
enters the room and speaks softly to each one of the
One
kobolds that are prisoners.
one
Stop.
thing at a time. Hang on, I'm looking up things. The key does not work.
On anything else?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
And she is speaking to them in Draconic, and everyone can see me pass each one of them one of my rations and a drink from my water skin.
They hungrily devour the rations, and one of them tries to drown down the entire water skin, and then they sort of wrestle over it between each other, and they're all manacled up too.
We need to release them, I say to everyone.
I'm going to work on this cage first, and he's going to attempt to knock the, as you can probably see on the back of the cage, there's hinges. He's going to attempt to knock the pins out of the hinge doors
Give me a
with the
strength
hammer
check.
and pin.
Actually,
Make sure you don't have your thing toggled.
Like that.
You not really getting anywhere.
let me see if I can pick the lock.
Do you have proficiency in thieves' tools?
I do not have these tools.
Well, while they're working on that, Dara is picking the lock on the kobold's manacles. I do have proficiency and I have thieves' tools.
I don't have either.
I don't know why. What made you think you did?
So do I just click on thieves' tools and it'll do its thing?
It'll query your skill and just select dexterity.
Okay, I don't know why it's not going.
It'll say query, and you should have a drop-down box to.
There it is.
Nice.
Alright, so there's the first one.
Yep. And 2.
Damn.
And 3.
Good lord.
All three
Now watch,
kobolds
we're
are
not gonna
loose.
get the gnome out.
Okay, I'm gonna go try and get the gnome out.
Alright, let me get out of the way.
The lock is giving you some trouble.
Can I take 10?
Not really a thing, but given that there's no consequence of failure, you can basically just keep trying until you get it right, and eventually you get the lock to release.
Okay.
Rise system just pulled a Gerald.
Oh, that's
Back.
nice.
Lovely.
Give him a minute before he comes back.
we're having technical difficulties tonight all
Warm
around.
up here.
Apparently.
Oh shit, mine just went down. No, I'm just kidding.
Chris, you're an asshole. Alright,
So,
I just dropped
who-
it 4 degrees in here. Maybe that'll help.
So who the shit invited Murphy to this party?
Right? Fuck Murphy.
It can't go wrong. It will go wrong.
Shut up. Alright. So,
You forgot the codicil.
the what?
Murphy's law is not just if when it will go wrong, it can go wrong, will go wrong. There's a codicil to the end of it, which is at the worst possible moment.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it would have been nice if my computer had decided to restart like 2 hours ago before we started.
I was having a discussion with some other people. We're pretty sure Murphy is the patron god of trolls.
Alright. Well, while he's restarting, I'm gonna go ahead and save this recording and start up the next one.